You deleted their number. You deleted every photo. You even deleted the playlist you used to play on repeat when you were together. But here's what you couldn't delete: the way they said your name. The exact weight of their hand in yours. The specific smell of their jacket on a cold night. It's 2 a.m. You haven't spoken to them in 8 months. And yet right now, your brain just served them up like a fresh notification. Why? Why does the human mind hold on to certain people like they're written into the source code of your soul? Why do some people fade in a week, and others, they don't fade? They just live inside you rent-free, uninvited, relentless. This isn't weakness. This isn't being too emotional. This is psychology. This is your brain doing exactly what it was built to do. And today, we're going to break it all down. Let me start with something that completely changed how I understand human memory. Most people think they can't forget someone because of who that person was. Their looks. Their personality. Their humor. But that's not how memory works. Your brain doesn't store people. It stores emotional states. When you were with that person, your brain was flooded with dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, chemicals that literally rewire neural pathways. Every moment you spent with them was being etched not just as a memory, but as a neurological experience, like a groove cut deep into a record. And here's the brutal truth: the deeper the emotional experience, the deeper the groove. Think about your first heartbreak. You probably remember it sharper than last Tuesday. Because last Tuesday was average. That heartbreak? That was peak neurological activity: pain, love, confusion, hope, loss, all at the same time. Your brain lit up like a city at night. Dr. Helen Fisher, a biological anthropologist at Rutgers University, conducted brain scans on people who had just gone through a breakup and were still deeply attached. What she found was stunning: the same brain regions that activate during cocaine addiction were lit up when these people thought about their lost partner. That's not poetry. That's neuroscience. You're not just missing a person. You are withdrawing from a chemical dependency your brain built, one beautiful, ordinary Tuesday at a time. Let me tell you about a woman named Bluma Zygarnik. She was sitting in a Vienna cafe in the 1920s, watching the waiters. She noticed something strange: the waiters could perfectly remember every detail of an order they hadn't delivered yet. But the moment the food hit the table? Gone. They could barely remember the table number. She went back to her lab and ran experiments. And what she discovered changed psychology forever. The human brain is obsessed with unfinished things. It cannot rest until a story has an ending. An open loop in your mind will keep pulling your attention back until it closes. Now apply that to a person. Think about the relationship that ended without real closure. The one where you never got a real answer. The one where they just disappeared. Or where the last conversation was an argument, not a goodbye. Or where you said "I love you" and the response was silence. That relationship is an open loop. And your brain, this extraordinarily powerful survival machine, will keep dragging you back to it. It will replay every scene. Rewrite every dialogue. Imagine alternate endings. What if I had said this? What if I had done that differently? You're not obsessing because you're weak. You're obsessing because your brain is desperately trying to close a loop that may never close. And the cruelest part? Sometimes the only way to close it is to truly accept, that some stories don't get an ending. Some questions don't get answers. Some people leave, and the loop just has to be cut. Here's the part nobody wants to hear. The people you can't forget? They're usually not random. There's a pattern. And that pattern was written before you even met them. Dr. John Bowlby's attachment theory tells us that the way we bonded with our primary caregivers as children creates a template. A blueprint. And for the rest of our lives, our nervous system is quietly searching for relationships that match that blueprint. If you grew up with love that was inconsistent, a parent who was warm one day and distant the next, your nervous system learned that love is uncertain. That it can be taken away. And so it became hypervigilant. Always scanning. Always reaching. And when you meet someone who recreates that exact emotional dynamic, warmth, then distance, closeness, then withdrawal, your brain doesn't say danger. Your brain says, familiar. And familiar feels like home. Even when home was painful. This is why some people fall hardest for the ones who are least consistent. The ones who keep them guessing. The almost relationships. The we're not putting a label on it. The 3 a.m. texts followed by 3 days of silence. The brain confuses intensity with importance. It confuses anxiety with love. And then when that person leaves, the withdrawal isn't just from the relationship. It's from a pattern that goes all the way back to childhood. You're not just missing them. You're missing the feeling of trying to be enough, which is a wound far older than this relationship ever was. There's another reason we can't forget certain people, and this one is perhaps the most profound. When you spend significant time with someone really in it, sharing your fears, your dreams, your embarrassing stories, your 3 a.m. thoughts, your identity begins to merge with theirs. Psychologists call this self-expansion theory. When we enter meaningful relationships, we literally incorporate aspects of the other person into our sense of self. Their music taste becomes yours. Their way of laughing. Their phrases. Their references. So when that person leaves, the grief isn't just missing them. It's the disorientation of not knowing who you are without them. You wake up and you don't know what music to play. You go to a restaurant and you don't know what to order because you always let them choose. You have a funny thought and you reach for your phone and then remember. Part of your identity has walked out the door with them. And rebuilding that? Rediscovering who you are, separate from this person? That takes time. That takes real, conscious work. It's not weakness to struggle with it. It is one of the most deeply human experiences that exists. Here's what actually works. Not what sounds pretty. What works? First, stop calling it getting over them. That phrase is violent. It implies you just leap over a person like a puddle. Real healing is not getting over someone. It's integrating the experience, understanding what it taught you, what wound it touched, what truth it revealed about you. Second, close the loops you can close. Write the letter you never sent. You don't have to send it. Write it. Say everything. Get it out of your nervous system and onto paper. Research shows that expressive writing about emotional experiences genuinely reduces their psychological grip. Third, understand the pattern, not just the person. Ask yourself honestly, what feeling did this person give me that I was already hungry for? Was it validation? Safety? Excitement? Belonging? Find that answer, because that's not about them. That's about you. And you can address that need in healthier ways. Fourth, neurologically replace, don't just remove. You can't just stop thinking about someone through willpower. Remember, that's like trying to hold your breath forever. Instead, build new neural grooves. New experiences. New emotional memories. Not to replace the person, but to give your brain something equally vivid to reach for. The brain follows intensity. Give it new intensities. Here's what I want you to remember. The fact that you can't forget someone doesn't mean you're broken. It means you felt something real. It means your brain worked exactly the way it was designed to. It means you were present enough, vulnerable enough, open enough, to let someone in deeply. That is not a flaw. That is the most human thing there is. The goal isn't to become someone who never gets attached. The goal is to understand why you attach the way you do, so that the next time you love someone, you do it with your eyes open. With your wounds known. With your patterns recognized. Because at the end of the day, the people we can't forget? They're not just memories. They're mirrors showing us exactly who we are, what we need, and where we still need to grow. And that's not something to run from. That's something to learn from. If this hits something real inside you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to go deeper on the psychology of relationships, attachment, and healing, subscribe. Because we're just getting started.